Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of the Final Fantasy Legend 2. When we last left off, we had almost completed the second floor here of the nasty dungeon. And we have 8 floors in total to go. So in this episode, we will be clearing out floors 3, 4, and a little bit of 5. But first we have to finish off floor 2 here. We already got all the treasure that we can on this floor, but we just have to find the staircase. So we're gonna have to backtrack and where we took the upper path to get to these treasure chests, we're gonna have to take the lower path, and that'll take us down to floor 3. So floor 3 and 4 are kind of similar. They're kind of like one long single hallway with a bunch of offshoots that each lead to different treasures. So, oh no, that guy used the chainsaw. He cut Linus up. Oh man. So yeah, that must mean that his strength is stronger than Linus's defense. So he ended up taking out Linus there. Oh well. Good thing about this game is characters are revived at the end of each battle with at least 1 hit point. So one of the good things is one of the items that we'll be picking up, a few of them actually in this nasty dungeon, is the tent item, and the tent item is basically a portable inn. So all these spell charges that we're using for Vincent, P, and the weapon charges for Honey Mouse, we'll eventually be able to refill when we got the tent. So we could have stocked up on tents at Ichigoya's, but we didn't really need to, because I kind of knew that I'd be able to get by with just the amount of tents that we find for free here in the nasty dungeon. So Linus getting good use out of that samurai bow. So that, once again, remember, is an agility-based weapon, so Linus has a chance to gain agility, and he did. And Vincent got some mana. So, nope, stats are coming pretty rapidly here. So, all right, on to floor number 3. Like I said, it's just gonna be kind of like one long narrow hallway with a bunch of offshoots. We take the offshoots, and we end up getting a bunch of treasures. So, try to use up as many as our items as we can. So, because there is so much treasure in this place that yeah, we want to use up our items so that we have room in our inventory to replace things with. So, more stats, hit points, and mana. Got 2 treasures here, an elixir, which is basically an inn for only 1 character though. And we got another laser gun. So, laser guns, the weapon of choice for speedrunners. Because like I said, speedrunners, obviously, when they're playing this game, they're not fighting a bunch of random battles. They're mainly running from all the battles. So, they're not really building up stats. And the laser gun is pretty much the strongest single target gun. Does about 350 damage. So, doesn't matter what your stats are, it doesn't miss. So, yeah, the characters, it's a good weapon for speedrunners because it's not dependent on stats, ain't gonna miss, so they don't have to waste their time. You know, they can still do reasonable damage to boss monsters with the laser gun without having to do any investment into the character. So we just put the Fire Magi on P there. That Fire Magi will grant the protection from fire for P. Now, P normally has a weakness to fire, but that Magi will now give P the immunity to fire. So And our other 3 characters already have that immunity to fire because they have the dragon armor, so it makes the dragon armor so good. It gives several immunities. Poison, ice, fire, and thunder, so... Hey, it's the Catwoman. We just hit the Catwoman with a cat claw. In the remake of this, the cat claw is like mainly in most Final Fantasies it's a knife, but in the remake of this game, it kind of shows you when you attack with the weapon, it shows your character using the weapon. The 3DS remake, I should say. I don't know if there's any other remake, but the 3DS remake is the one that I'm speaking of. It's actually a big, looks like a big foam hand that is in the shape of a cat's paw. So, yeah, it's kind of silly. You have this robot with a big, looks like a big foam hand, like you see at the baseball games. So, speaking of animals and baseball games, I'd have to see if they're doing Bark in the Park this year at the Norfolk Tides. Didn't get to do it the past 2 years because of COVID. I think they had it last year, but I'm gonna get a chance to do it with my dog Spartacus. He needs to go to a baseball game. Sadly, I can't take my rats there. Oh, we got another judo and a dragon sword. Second strongest strength-based sword. Only one stronger is the sun sword. We'll find one of them eventually. But axe, that's a weapon that we got. Remember, we got that weapon back in Ashura's base, so yeah, that's not going to sell for a lot, and it's no use equipping it. So some of these weapons that we're not going to use, of course, we're going to end up selling when we have the inventory space. When we get to a shop to do that. But if we get a weapon like a drop, like an axe, which is basically useless, isn't going to sell for much of anything, we can just drop it. So, but judo gives a pretty good boost. So once Linus and Vincent finish with their judos there, we'll be able to pass it on to Honey Mouse, and then we can start taking away her cat claws and replacing them with those strength weapons, including maybe that dragon sword a little bit later on. Definitely the sun sword when we get it, and the Gungnir spear. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's a spear that Odin uses. Remember, Odin is another one of the gods that was mentioned in the Guardian's base. The new god, they had to watch out for new gods: Ashura, Venus, Odin, and Apollo. So, I guess I'll just give a little spoilers. The next world is actually going to be Odin's world, so you could technically get to Odin's world as soon as you start the game. So, yes, what Odin does is, Odin, if everybody gets defeated in battle, you get taken to Valhalla, and Odin's there, and Odin says, hey, I will restore you all to life as long as you make the promise to fight me one day. So, if you say yes, well, then Odin will revive you. But different dialogue happens depending on, if you've been revived, if you haven't been revived. So, I'm purposely not showing off what happens, but I will eventually show off all that dialogue, all the different dialogues that happen with Odin when we get to it. But yeah, the Odin spear, Gungnir is like a magical spear, and apparently it never misses. And that is coded into this game too. The Gungnir spear never misses, so it doesn't matter if you have 0 agility and you're fighting a top tier monster with 99 agility. You attack with the Gungnir spear, you are going to hit. And it does decent damage too. It has an interesting calculation where it does a set amount of damage even if your strength is below 70. It can still almost one-shot groups of enemies, even if you have like no strength at all. But if you get your strength above 70, then you can do additional damage. So it isn't until after you get over 70 or more than 70 strength that you get some extra damage to the spear's damage calculations. Warning, lost warning. Well, we had 2 warnings, so it didn't matter. We lost that 1 warning. But we got a terrible ability, Explode. What Explode does is it basically your character explodes and kills all the enemies. So one-time use, but I guess it's kind of like a last-ditch effort, you know. So, but never found a use for it, so I guess some people do find a use for it. There is in the very last screen in the game, the final dungeon, there is a kind of a mini boss that's very, very tough, but it has a chance to drop the best sword in the game, the 7 sword, which can hit up to 7 times, because it has like 7 little prongs on it. But the monster is really, really hard. So some people use Explode, or there's another item that will actually get in here, the Hyper Cannon, which instantly defeats any enemy, any non-boss enemy. So Explode could be useful for taking out this mini boss and hoping to get the best sword drop in the game. But I will not be doing that in this playthrough. I'll be fighting him fair and square. So, because Honey Mouse, P, Vincent, and Linus, they're honorable rats and mice. So, Badunk. Missed with the touch attack. Wow, that's weird. Especially because P is on the same level as these monsters. So, let's head over this way. And there's a little offshoot off above that there was nothing in that one, so we just skipped it. We got another tank item there, so I just equipped that the new tank that we got to replace the old tank that Honey Mouse had. So that way Honey Mouse still has uses of her tank. But yeah, tank will be pretty much obsoleted after this dungeon, so everyone will have better things to use. So, although it is, I guess, kind of interesting that, you know, here we are, like, it's better to use swords and spellbooks than an actual tank. So, getting back to that 3DS remake, when you use the tank, they'll show your character actually sitting in a tank and then shooting the barrel of the tank. So now Vincent ended up getting the touch ability, just like how P has here. So now maybe P can, Vincent can start healing himself and dealing damage at the same time. We just saw a flame attack there, because we put that fire mana on P. He was strong against fire, so otherwise it would have said P is weak against fire, being a ghost monster, and probably would have took P out. So wouldn't want that to happen. Oh well, all the ice is out, so no use using touch. Vincent's already at full hit points. Goodbye, Catwoman. Nightmare Meat. Vincent, get some more mana. Nice. Touch is also a mana-based attack. It does damage based on your mana stat, and using it can has the chance to, of course, raise your mana. So, boom. If it was a little less lava ones, I might have used, had Vincent use the judo. Because we want to try to have both Vincent and Linus finish off their judo so they can pass it down to Honey Mouse, so that she'll be able to make that transition to a strength-based robot by Dungeon's End. Looks like P is just going to be on crowd control right now, because all he has left is the sleep ability. So, well, used to have the sleep ability. Now that we use that elixir, P has full hit points, and P's spell charges have all been recharged. So everybody else was doing good on their abilities. So no point in using the tent just yet. So we'll use the tent when Honey Mouse and Vincent are, and then of course P are pretty much almost exhausted in terms of their abilities and weapon usage. That was a quick, easy battle. Linus gained some more hit points. Nice. There's another. Should be another easy battle. So take out the Catwomen. You know, unfortunately these nightmares did not have that weakness like the adamant turtles did, so we couldn't one-shot them with the ice, but that'll let Vincent use some judo. Yeah, good thing about like the judo and the strongest martial art, karate, is even if you use them with full usage, you'll still deal some damage. So yeah, you'll notice that Vincent, his judo was at max usage, but he still managed to do 61 damage with his first hit, and now he got 10 more damage from the next one that he used. So that's one good nice thing about the judo and karate. You don't have to invest a lot of uses in them before they start actually dealing damage. So it's just the way that their damage calculation is written. Tanks, look at that. 3 attacks in a row that the tank blocked. Donk! Linus got some agility using that samurai bow. Alright, let's head on down. Time to head on to the 5th floor. Time to give you all the headache. See how there's a little strip up there? Yeah, the row up top is gonna be a whole bunch of little rooms, and we're gonna be separated by these little strips. So the screen will be transitioning from one room to another room to another room to another room. It's kind of annoying looking, but. So here we're on basically the halfway point of the dungeon. Like I said, there was 8 floors in this dungeon. We're now on level 5. Level 6, the enemies will get stronger. So on level 5 here, they actually kind of give you a little bit of a break. We're still going to be fighting similar enemies to what we've been fighting, but ooh, surprise! That's a good ability. What surprise does is surprise means that now we have a chance to preemptive attack. So we might be able to get free attacks against enemies. So we'll get a free round of combat against them. So very, very good. So you're about to see how annoying this thing is. Yeah, but the enemies here are basically it's almost like the first floor again. So we're not going to see as many enemies in each group. So we got this little group right here where we just 3 enemies, and we had that one group with a Catwoman, just one Catwoman. So yay, Catwoman's meat. Linus's agility up. Yeah, so each time we're gonna step on one of these little lines, things are gonna transition. So yeah, it's kind of annoying that they did this. I don't know why they couldn't have just made it one open thing, but I don't know. I didn't program this game, somebody else did, so. The Muramass. Remember, Taro had that sword. Good against humans, but humanoid monsters. Strength-based weapon, so we're not going to be putting any use to it, so. It's not as good as in terms of giving a bonus to strength as the Dragon Sword or the Sun Sword, so yeah, Honey Mouse won't even be equipping it when she makes her way to a strength-based robot, so. Just more goods to sell, so. Gonna make a lot of money after, a lot of money, so. Ooh, finally lost Blizzard. Vincent started with that way long ago. So there we got a strike first. So yeah, that's because of the surprise ability that Vincent has. So yeah, we're gonna have a whole free round of combat here where all the nightmares are gonna do nothing. So yeah, very useful. So as long as an enemy doesn't have the warning ability, then you have a chance to potentially surprise attack it. So because Vincent has the warning and the surprise ability, our party has a chance to preemptively attack any enemy and will never be preemptive attacked by any enemy, because some enemies do have the surprise ability, and if you don't have the warning ability, well, they can surprise you just as we surprise those nightmares. So, well, that's it for this episode. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye.